Hey everybody, I'm Sarah, Lonesome Glory, and a few weeks ago I made a trip to Branson, Missouri to pick up a collection of model horses of kind of all variety. So let's talk about how that went. I was put in touch with the owner of this collection by kind of a friend situation. There were a lot of moving parts that went on here. But ultimately, I was put in touch with this wonderful lady who lives in Branson and who had a model horse collection that she was very concerned would ultimately not be taken care of if something were to happen to her. I know that all of us kind of have that thought at some time, what's going to happen to these horses. The woman that I talked to, whose collection this was, I'm not going to name her, just, I don't know that that's right. She's 94 and her models had been in storage for quite a few years. She was very concerned that should she pass away, either her family would not go get them out of storage and they would ultimately be discarded by the people who owned the building, or her family would get them and throw them away because they didn't know anything about them. So she was looking for some help to get these out of storage, and that's kind of where I came in. A friend of hers posted online that this lady in Branson needed help with her collection. That's really all that the post said. I was sent to her by a friend of mine who knows I live near enough to Branson to get there. And ultimately, they put us in touch. I spent a bit of time on the phone with this woman. She is amazing and has had an absolutely fascinating life. And she told me that she wanted them out of storage and she wanted someone to have them who would take care of them, or who more specifically knew what they were. So I agreed to come help her. Took a friend of mine with me. We drove up to Branson, picked her up. She is adorable and so much fun. So we took her with us to the place where the horses were stored. She told us which boxes they were in. There was a big flight of stairs that she wasn't able to make. So we went in and brought things down to her. She checked that those were the boxes she had of her horses and put them in the van. We had a couple of conversations about what we were doing with them, and she was very adamant that she wanted me to take them with me, and they were mine. I offered to give her money. She refused. She really was just so worried about these horses being thrown away that she just wanted someone who knew what they were to have them. So I was, of course, exceptionally grateful. We spent more time together that afternoon. We went to lunch, went back up into the storage unit because her picture albums were up there. So we were able to give those to her and really just had an amazing day talking to this woman. Again, I'm not going to name her. I don't know that she knows that I do YouTube videos or anything like that. We didn't meet through this. So, but I wanted to tell you guys the story because it was just kind of, we got these two totes of horses, didn't have any idea what was in them particularly. She told me on the phone that she mainly collected glass or china horses, that she had some Breyers, and that was really all we knew. She said that she'd packed them up very well before she left the state. And she told me specifically that she used Beanie Babies to pack them so that they had some cushion. And that was all I knew. She was very glad to hear that my mom is a china collector, which she is. And you'll see later why she was so excited. So anyway, we spent this time with her. We had some lovely conversations and then came back home with these two totes of models. So the footage that I'm going to show you and the pictures I'm going to show you now are from just before Christmas. I want to say maybe even Christmas Eve. Mom and I got together and we sat down and we opened up the 2 totes. We pulled everything out just to get an idea of what was there. And needless to say, we had an absolute blast. So please enjoy the contents of these 2 mystery totes, this mystery collection. And there's a lot of just hands opening packages. So enjoy some music, and I'll see you in a bit.
tape more than I do.
So, it does appear. I mean, she didn't know how long they were going to be in storage when she taped them up. So she was...
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
she was
no idea.
very concerned that they would, like, shuffle and get broken on the drive. Which is why there's packing stuff in the back of your car.
I know.
Sorry. We didn't need it because, I mean, you saw how they stayed packaged.
Yeah, which is why it's all over my car.
Yeah, my bad.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Now that you guys have seen the unboxing process as Mom and I kind of documented, I'm going to show you everything out and on a temporary shelf. So the ones you're seeing right here are the three that have broken legs. Unfortunately, this beautiful Hagen Zara in the middle, the leg is not in the box. We couldn't find it, so that's too bad. But the Swaps and the Cheval have legs. It's also this figure. It's marked Japan. It's marked, I believe, NASCO. We're not 100% sure what it is, but there you go. This next shelf, these are the Breyers. There weren't a ton of them, but as you can see, they were very, very nice. And of course, I mean, talk about perfect. This random box of random horses had a Lonesome Glory in it. So this guy is 100% sticking around. Big Lex, we do have Refrigerator and Kip Dixon. Now it's been repaired, but that's all right. It's still beautiful. Moving on over here, these are horses that are either marked Japan or don't have marks, and so we're not 100% sure what they are. And we have another shelf of kind of the same thing up above, so we'll go up there. This set is so cute. Mare and Colt nursing. The mare does have a broken ear, and I believe they're marked Japan, but nothing else. These are salt and pepper shakers. Are they not the cutest things ever? And the rest of them are either marked Japan or have no marks, so we're not 100% sure what they are. And I will say now, if you see any of these when we're the ones that we don't know what they are and you do, please post a comment below and let me know, because Mom and I are both very excited to learn about them. Next up are these three beauties on bases. They have wooden bases. They're all attached. There are no marks that I could find or that Mom could find. So we have no idea what they are. If any of you do, please, please, please let me know in the comments. And the next shelf up actually do have marks. Yay, things I know what they are. These are Beswicks. There's the little bit tiny one here. And then we have a couple of these do have either breaks or repaired breaks. This one's missing an ear. But the last couple are absolutely gorgeous. Pristine, have the stickers. And then the last shelf are, it's kind of a mix, but we do know what these are. These three here are Lefton. I love this mare with her look with that colt. This guy here is a Hagen Renaker. I was told by someone who actually does know what these are, that this is a more recent release from Hagen. This is a Goebel. He is marked. And last but not least, this is the Franklin Mint Horses of the World set, and that's the Lipizzaner. So, as you can see, she had an absolutely amazing collection. There are gorgeous horses in there of many different makes. There's some damage to some of them, but nothing that's so severe that it can't be repaired. And I'm just so grateful that she decided that I should be the one to have them. This is an amazing opportunity just to be anywhere near some of these horses. So I'm very happy there. All of this has kind of brought up a couple of interesting points, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes to kind of talk about that. I'm sure that everyone out there who has any kind of a collection and is in any range, older of any variety, has thought, what's going to happen to my collection when I'm not here? I like to call these kind of conversations the hit by a bus conversations. No one ever wants to think about them not being here anymore or their family not being here. But as friends of mine have always said, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow. So what does happen to your collection? And this is the point where I think I have to tell you that, yes, I am a lawyer. I am not your lawyer. Anything I say is not legal advice to you. It's just some kind of common sense and suggestions. If you have questions or want to work on any of the things I'm about to talk about, you need to find a lawyer to represent you where you live. So all of that said, anything that comes out of my mouth right now is just some kind of common sense ideas. I do not represent you. I do not represent typical clients. So take that as you will. That said, one of the important things to do if you have a collection, and especially if your family is not part of your collecting, or they just aren't as knowledgeable. You know, if something were to happen to me, my mom knows that I have the collection, and she knows some of the ones that are rare and worth some more money than others, but she doesn't know all of them. And I wouldn't expect her to. It's my collection, not hers. However, leaving her to deal with all of this is a lot. So a lot of folks will, and I'm working on this too, will designate someone within the hobby who is knowledgeable about the types of horses and the prices and things like that, to help their family with dealing with the collection. This person can be entrusted by the family maybe to sell them, or just to identify and give a price range, to do kind of a miniature appraisal, I suppose, things like that. There's a lot of things that can be done, and that can all be set out in a will or a declaration that you make depending on your state and the laws where you are, which is why you got to talk to a lawyer there. The other thing that you can do in the you get hit by a bus category is not just have somebody who knows what the collection is, but maybe have pictures and identifications for your models put together for your family so that they can use that as a reference. That's also really good if you have certain models that you know you want to give to certain people if something were to happen to you. While folks watching this video and I know, for instance, that this horse is a glossy surprise model from Breyer Fest. That would be 2017. It's written on his belly. And we know basically the value of him, and we know what he looks like exactly. If I were to write in my will that I wanted the glossy Tobiano Bollywood surprise to go to my friend, the people who are trying to do what you want in your will might not have any idea what that means. However, if you have a picture of the model with the information and who you want it to go to, that can be exceptionally helpful in ensuring that the people you want to have these horses get them. Really, probably the best thing to do, though, is to have someone who does know about the horses who can help your family through a distribution or a sale or things like that. There's also something to be said for keeping track of exactly what you own and what they look like and all of that. And this is definitely a do as I say, not as I do situation, because I've been trying to put that together for years and keep failing. So that's kind of my long soapbox discussion here today. I wanted to be able to show you guys the amazing horses that I was given, and kind of talk a little bit about the kind of things we don't want to talk about, but also just to point out what a wonderful hobby we are all in. I'm recording this now. It is New Year's Eve. I do not know if you guys will see this later today or just in the next couple of days. But as we're starting a new year, this story just really made me think about how wonderful and compassionate and close our hobby is. This woman in Branson needed help and needed someone in the hobby to help. And while it took going through a few people, she got help from someone. And to me, it was just amazing that someone she knew reached out to the hobby, and then someone I knew said, you need to talk to this person. We are such a close-knit group, and we are all so willing to help each other at different times. And that has been the best thing about being a hobbyist that I have ever come across. You guys will know from some of my Breyerfest videos, especially during pandemic, that I didn't miss Breyerfest so much as I missed my people. And this right here is kind of an example as to why. Just people being willing to help other people, all because we all like the same thing, which is plastic or resin or china representations of horses. So now that I've gotten all sentimental and given a little lecture, I am going to say that is the end for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and commenting and letting me kind of do this and talk to you. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.